Let's settle this. Who says only the usual suspects get to own the best costumes crown in period dramas? There's a whole universe of overlooked gems out there, and honestly, some of them put the classics to shame. Ready to leave behind the same old country estates and predictable bonnets? What if I told you there are shows with gowns, wigs, and backdrops so spectacular you'll wonder how they ever stayed in the shadows? Stick around, your new obsession is about to begin. The Paradise BBC, 2012 to 2013. You ever walk into a store so beautiful you forget why you came in? That's the vibe the Paradise radiates from the first minute. While everyone else is talking up Downton Abbey's drawing rooms or Bridgerton's pastel chaos, here's the one that slipped through the cracks, and it's quietly outdressing half of them. Set in a lavish Victorian department store, this show is all about the rush of new money and even newer fashion. But don't expect stuffy old men counting coins. This place is alive, pulsing with ambition, romance, and a dangerous hint of social climbing. Let's talk costumes. Picture this: ribbons and lace, silks and velvets, towering hats that could double as parade floats. The shop girls don't just work in the store, they're practically mannequins in motion, turning every aisle into a runway. The men? Their suits are sharp enough to slice through tension, with cravats so immaculate you'll want to start Googling Victorian menswear trends. But it isn't just about the finery. The attention to detail, brooches, gloves, the exact shade of blue in a morning dress, give every character a unique visual fingerprint. You can practically feel the weight of those skirts as they sweep across the polished floors. But don't let the eye candy fool you. This is a story about women on the rise, fighting for dignity, independence, and a taste of luxury in a world designed to keep them behind the counter. Denise, our heroine, isn't content to just fold linens. She's got ideas, ambition, and a knack for rattling the men upstairs. Her journey from lowly shop assistant to power player is a jolt of energy through the usual period drama formula. Romance? Sure, it's there, but it never sugarcoats the price of getting ahead in Victorian England. The Paradise proves you don't need a country manor to do high drama. Sometimes all it takes is a bolt of fabric, a perfectly tied bow, and the guts to dream bigger than anyone expects. If you've ever wished for a period drama that's as much about survival as it is about silks, this is the one you can't miss. The Crimson Petal and the White BBC, 2011. Let's drop the pretenses. Victorian London wasn't all tea parties and tidy gardens. In the Crimson Petal and the White, you're thrown headfirst into the dark, dazzling maze of the city's underbelly. And trust me, you won't want to leave. This series doesn't just dabble in grit, it embraces it, wrapping every shadow and gaslit alleyway in fabric so rich you can almost smell the candle wax and coal dust. Forget sanitized history. Here, the costumes and settings are as wild and unpredictable as the people who wear them. The story centers on Sugar, played with unnerving brilliance by Romola Garai. She's a survivor, a strategist, a woman using every weapon at her disposal to climb out of the muck and into the light. Around her, Victorian London pulses with life, damp cobblestone streets, crumbling boarding houses, and the opulent parlors of the very rich. But it's the costuming that sets this show apart. Every corset is both a prison and a suit of armor, every dress carefully chosen for who it needs to fool. When Sugar moves between worlds, the brooding gloom of the slums and the polished cruelty of the elite, her clothes change with her, telling a wordless story of ambition, desperation, and survival. But don't think this is just about surface. Director Mark Munden paints every scene with bold, saturated color, sometimes dreamy, sometimes nightmarish, always impossible to ignore. The settings are lush and layered, velvet curtains, peeling wallpaper, candlelit windows, looking out on a world that's both dangerous and strangely beautiful. The city feels alive, unpredictable, and it's the perfect backdrop for a drama that never lets you get comfortable. There's a streak of dark humor running through it all, a sense that everyone is in costume, performing for survival or power or just another day. Every frame is a reminder that history wasn't black and white. It was gold, red, and shadow, with secrets stitched into every seam. Bottom line, The Crimson Petal and the White is not just a story, it's a plunge into a world where beauty and brutality go hand in hand. If you think you've seen all the best-dressed dramas, think again. This one will haunt your imagination and raise your standards for what a period piece can look like. Harlots Hulu ITV 2017 to 2019. Ready for a period drama that grabs you by the collar and refuses to let go? Enter Harlots, the riotous, jewel-toned juggernaut that rips the powdered wig off 18th century London and dares you to look away. Forget stuffy parlors and delicate teacups. Here, you're thrust headlong into the city's most notorious brothels, where the real power players wear stays and stockings and survival is an art form. From the opening shot, Harlots is an all-out assault on your senses. The costuming is electric, every scene a riot of color and extravagance. Gowns burst with unexpected combinations, lime green, magenta, royal blue, paired with towering wigs, sparkling jewels, and fans sharp enough to slice through an awkward silence. The production team didn't just recreate history, they detonated it, mixing authenticity with a bit of theatrical mischief. You'll spot corsets cinched so tight you wonder how anyone could breathe, and accessories that turn the simplest walk down a hallway into a full-on power play. Everything is bigger, louder, and more deliciously rebellious than anything you've seen in a classic costume drama. But don't mistake spectacle for style over substance. The battle lines are drawn between rival madams Margaret Wells and Lydia Quigley, played with ferocious wit by Samantha Morton and Leslie Manville. Each is a master manipulator, using fashion not just to impress, but to intimidate and protect. Here, what you wear is as much about strategy as seduction. The settings match the energy: candlelit parlors, raucous streets, private gardens dripping with forbidden secrets. It's a world that's raw, unfiltered, and dazzling, but never once loses sight of the very real stakes facing the women at its center. What makes Harlots such a criminally underappreciated series isn't just the bold storytelling or unforgettable visuals. It's the way it upends expectations, refusing to let its characters be anyone's victim or anyone's fantasy. If you want your history with a shot of adrenaline and a blast of color, this is the one to binge. Don't say I didn't warn you. After Harlots, you'll look at every other period drama like it's been painted in sepia. Belgravia ITV Epics 2020. Every now and then, a show comes along that looks so decadent, you feel like you should be watching it with white gloves on. Belgravia is one of those rare beasts. Set amid the swirling scandals of 19th century London's most exclusive new neighborhood, this series practically bathes itself in luxury. From the first sweeping shot of grand townhouses lined up like a row of sparkling pearls, you know you're in for a visual treat. The costumes are nothing short of jaw-dropping. Think embroidered silk ball gowns that shimmer under candlelight, military uniforms fit for the grandest parade, and mourning attire that makes even grief look regal. Every detail matters. The women's dresses drip with handmade lace, delicate beadwork, and embroidery so intricate you can imagine the hours spent hunched over every stitch. The men? They're strutting in frock coats and waistcoats that signal wealth, status, and not-so-subtle ambition. This is fashion as social currency, and every character knows exactly what message they're sending. But here's where Belgravia gets really interesting. The settings are more than just pretty backdrops. Each room tells a story, from sun-drenched drawing rooms, overflowing with fresh flowers, to dark mahogany-paneled studies, hiding secrets behind every locked drawer. The show is obsessed with atmosphere. Light slants through massive windows, footsteps echo down marble halls, and every scene feels thick with unspoken tension. You're not just looking at wealth, you're feeling the pressure that comes with maintaining it. Beneath the surface, there's intrigue, betrayal, and the constant scramble to climb or cling to the social ladder. The families at the center are tangled in old wounds and new ambitions, and every ball, every carriage ride, every tightly laced corset carries the weight of generations of expectation. Creator Julian Fellowes, yes, the Downton Abbey mastermind, knows exactly how to make you care about who sits where, who wears what, and who's about to topple from grace. If you crave a period drama that's as sharp as it is sumptuous, Belgravia delivers. It's history with bite, fashion with purpose, and every episode feels like slipping into a world where appearances can be everything or absolutely nothing. The Spanish Princess stars, 2019 to 2020. Think you know all the best royal dramas? Think again. The Spanish princess sweeps in with the force of a royal procession, shining a spotlight on a queen you only thought you knew. This is Catherine of Aragon before she was the wronged wife, before the divorces, before the rhyme everyone learns in school. Here, she's young, bold, and ready to claim her own destiny, and the visuals are every bit as grand as her ambition. Let's start with the costumes, because honestly, they deserve their own episode. The The costume team doesn't just recreate Tudor England. They bring in the full glory of Renaissance Spain, layering Catherine in brocaded gowns, velvet cloaks, and intricate, gem-studded headpieces that make her look every inch the future queen. The palette is rich and opulent, deep reds, golds, midnight blues. Every outfit is a work of art, telling you exactly how much power is at stake in every meeting, every meal, every stolen glance. The settings match the intensity. Forget cold castles. Here, the royal courts are living, breathing characters themselves, dripping with candlelight, elaborate tapestries, and the kind of architectural detail that makes you want to pause and just drink it all in. The show never lets you forget that Catherine is a stranger in a strange land, her Spanish entourage cutting through the English mist with color and confidence. But this isn't just pageantry. The politics are vicious, the personal stakes are sky high, and every scene pulses with the tension of people who know that one false move could cost them everything. The show gives Catherine agency and fire, making her both a romantic lead and a political operator, someone who knows how to use every resource, including fashion, to get what she wants. It's a crying shame more people haven't made this their go-to Tudor fix. The Spanish princess is history with attitude, dripping with jewels and intrigue. And if you think you've seen every variation of royal drama, this one will make you realize you've been missing out on the real fireworks. The Cook of Castmar, La Cocinera de Castmar, Netflix, 2021. There are period dramas that try to impress you, and then there are those that lure you in, plate by plate, scene by scene, until you're utterly under their spell. The Cook of Castmar is the latter, quietly devastating in its beauty, and bursting with detail you can almost taste. If you think you've seen opulence, wait until you watch a simple dinner transformed into an event that could start or end a war. Set in 18th century Madrid, this Spanish-language series revolves around Clara, a brilliant but haunted cook who slips into the world of aristocracy, one exquisite dish at a time. The costumes? Perfection. Every apron, every delicate lace cuff, every formal court dress is chosen to reflect not just station, but secret longing and buried trauma. The contrast between the servants' uniforms, practical, spotless, and subtly beautiful, and the nobility's finery makes every scene a lesson in visual storytelling. The settings are as lush as the food. Grand halls with soaring ceilings, candlelit feasts, and gardens where secrets bloom as easily as the flowers. The kitchens are their own kingdom, alive with the clatter of copper pots, the glow of firelight, and the heady promise of forbidden connection. Food isn't just a backdrop. It's the language of love, grief, and ambition. Every meal is an act of creation, and every gathering at the table is a high-stakes negotiation. But this isn't just a series about beauty for beauty's sake. The plot simmers with intrigue, romance, and a very real sense of danger. Clara and the Duke of Castmar must navigate a minefield of social rules, personal demons, and secrets that could shatter everything. The costuming and set design don't just support the story, they are the story, expressing what the characters can't say out loud. The Cook of Castmar is that rare drama where you'll want to pause every 5 minutes just to soak in the details. If you crave elegance with emotional depth and stories where what's unsaid is just as important as what's on the plate, this is your next must-watch. Vanity Fair, ITV, Amazon, 2018. If you think period dramas are just a parade of demure heroines and noble intentions, allow Becky Sharp to introduce herself. The 2018 miniseries adaptation of Vanity Fair is a whip-smart, candy-colored spectacle that refuses to play by the rules, much like its infamous protagonist. In a world obsessed with status and appearances, this show tears through 19th century England with more style and bite than most of its primetime competition. From the jump, you know you're in for something different. Olivia Cooke's Becky is sly, mischievous, and constantly scheming her way up the social ladder. She's not afraid to break the fourth wall, and the show's visuals match her attitude, vibrant, unapologetic, and unafraid to wink at the audience. Costumes are a riot of color and pattern. Think canary yellows, candy apple reds, emerald greens, each gown or suit chosen to tell you who holds the cards in every scene. Becky's wardrobe, in particular, is a study in self-invention, flashy, defiant, and always just a touch more daring than anyone else in the room. The sets are equally bold, with painterly backdrops that oscillate between the glittering ballrooms of London and the muddy chaos of the countryside. There's a deliberate sense of theatricality, from grand staircases and mirrored salons to the clever, slightly modern touches in the production design. Even the music is cheeky, with the occasional contemporary flourish to remind you this is history told with a wink, not a whisper. But what really sets this series apart is the way it balances satire and sincerity. While the show has fun lampooning the vanities and hypocrisies of high society, it never loses sight of the very real consequences at play. Every plot twist, every scandal, every dazzling dress comes with a cost, and Becky's relentless ambition is as thrilling as it is dangerous. Vanity Fair is a masterclass in reinventing a classic for a new generation. If you crave period drama with an edge and costumes that pop right off the screen, this is one you can't afford to skip. Dancing on the Edge, BBC, 2013. If you think Jazz Age London is all about champagne toasts and flapper dresses, Dancing on the Edge is here to set the record straight, with a trumpet blast and a velvet tuxedo. This BBC miniseries slips you into the smoky, shimmering world of 1930s black jazz musicians fighting for a place on the grandest stages of high society. From the first note, you know you're not just watching history. You're feeling it in every sharp tuxedo crease and every bead of sweat on the dance floor. Chiwetel Ejiofor leads a magnetic cast as the bandleader trying to navigate the razor-thin line between adulation and exclusion. The costuming here is next level. Perfectly tailored suits, glittering evening gowns, and accessories that capture the glitz and danger of the era. The show's attention to detail is astonishing, from the cut of a lapel to the precise sparkle of a beaded headpiece. Every character dresses to impress, and every choice is a calculated move in a game where the rules are stacked against them. But what truly elevates Dancing on the Edge is the settings. Grand hotels, dimly lit clubs, and smoky backstage corridors pulse with music and tension, immersing you in a world that's both seductive and treacherous. The Art Deco interiors are lush, with geometric patterns, gleaming brass, and shadowy corners where secrets simmer. It's a visual symphony, every scene orchestrated for maximum mood. Yet, beneath the glamour, the series never flinches from the hard truths, racism, ambition, and the constant struggle for respect. Fashion isn't just about looking good. It's armor against a world eager to put you in your place. The music and costumes are intertwined, both vehicles for freedom and reminders of what's at stake. Dancing on the Edge is more than a period drama. It's a love letter to an era of creativity, courage, and high stakes. If you want your historical series with a side of swing, style, and social bite, clear your schedule and cue this up. The dance floor is waiting.